Just feel the love, oh yeah. Go ahead now, alright. Just feel the love, ooh. Don't stop, don't ever stop. Just because.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my visual podcast titled LATINX Heroes, Past, Present, and Future. My name is Javier Pedrosa and I am your host. First, I'd like to say thank you for the incredible response you've all shown LATINX Heroes for subscribing, liking, and commenting. For those of you joining us for the first time, know that I have created this visual podcast to highlight LATINX heroes and our advocates who are change makers, role models, and pioneers who have worked and continue working towards building a better tomorrow. On today's episode, we'll be highlighting a hero from our present, who I describe as the perfect combination of beauty, brains, and heart. You know her face from every magazine cover and every major catwalk, as she is one of the first iconic supermodels. She's also a master's degree recipient from Columbia University, a filmmaker, and a global maternal health advocate. She is also a mom, a wife who just celebrated 16 years of marriage, and oh yeah, let's not forget an incredibly accomplished legendary supermodel who formed part as what is known in the fashion industry as the Trinity. Christy Nicole Turlington Burns was born on January 2nd, 1969 in the city of Walnut Creek in Northern California to parents of English and Salvadorian descent. Christy and her two sisters, Kelly and Erin, grew up with their glamorous mother, Maria Elizabeth Turlington, who was a flight attendant for Pan Am in the 60s, and their father, Dwayne Turlington, a commercial pilot for Pan Am. The family later moved to Miami, Florida for a few years with Christy's father's job, and little did they know that's where Christy will be discovered. At the age of 13, while horseback riding with her older sister Kelly, they caught the eye of a photographer who asked Christy's mother if he could take their picture. Maria Elizabeth said yes, and a new journey begins for Christy. A local Miami agency connects Christy to agencies in New York and Paris, and Christy begins her modeling career. At 15, Christy went to Paris to work for the summer, and 2 years later, she was signed to one of the world's largest modeling agencies, Ford Models. At 18, Christy moves to the Big Apple to pursue a professional modeling career and quickly learns to juggle a busy schedule. In 1986, Turlington appeared in the English pop rock band Duran Duran's music video, Notorious, and lands the cover of Vogue, gaining her international recognition. At the age of 20, Turlington signed a record-setting 7-figure contract as the new face of Calvin Klein, a relationship she would hold for the next 20 years. Christy was then featured with fellow Trinity models Naomi Campbell and Linda Evangelista, along with Cindy Crawford and Tatiana Petit on the cover of British Vogue in January 1990. The grouping attracted significant attention, and they were chosen again to appear together in pop singer George Michael's Freedom music video. Gianni Versace in turn hired Turlington, Campbell, Evangelista, and Crawford to simultaneously walk the runway, mouthing the lyrics to the music video at his 1991 Full Couture show finale. With standing ovations from the audience, the fall 1991 show is believed by many industry professionals to have marked the official debut of the supermodel. The same year, Christy is featured on her first American Vogue cover and continues building her career by signing a contract as the new face of Maybelline in 1992. Also in 92, Christy bears it all for PETA's anti-fur campaign, stating, "I'd rather go naked than wear fur." The following year, the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art names Turlington the face of the 20th century, creating 120 mannequins in her likeness commissioned by designer Pucci. Following her mother's advice, Christy enrolls at NYU in 1995 to study comparative religion and Eastern philosophy. 2 years later, following the loss of her father to lung cancer in 1997, she sets up the award-winning campaign SmokingIsUgly.com, a website designed to raise awareness of lung cancer. In 1999, Ms. Turlington founded her own company, Turley Inc., and authored Live in Yoga, Creating Life Practices. 2003 was a roller coaster of emotions for Christy as she marries Hollywood leading man, director, and producer, Mr. Ed Burns. The same year, they welcome to the world their first child, Grace, and their life changes forever. After experiencing complication in her own childbirth and upon learning that over 500,000 women died each year during childbirth, of which 90% of deaths are preventable and 98% of the complications that arise are also preventable, Turlington knew she had to do something to help. In 2005, Christy began working with the international humanitarian organization CARE, one of the largest and oldest humanitarian aid organizations. While pregnant with her second child, she traveled to her mother's homeland, El Salvador. El Salvador, the smallest country of the 7 Central American countries, is certainly one of the most delightful. El Salvador is rich in natural beauty, pristine beaches, countless volcanoes, and many Mayan ruins. El Salvador is bounded by Honduras, the Pacific Ocean, and Guatemala, making El Salvador the only Central American country that lacks a Caribbean coast. Spanish is the official language of El Salvador, although indigenous dialects are still spoken. The Pipil tribe were the predominant tribe in the region prior to the Spanish conquest. They named their territory and capital Cuscatlan, meaning land of the jewel. The mixing of the Pipil and other tribes with European settlers is reflected in the modern-day ethnic composition of the country. Almost 9/10 of the population is mestizo, who are people of mixed indigenous and European ancestry. The capital is San Salvador, which is the largest city of El Salvador and the country's political, cultural, educational, and financial center, all set against the backdrop of San Salvador's volcano. In 2006, Christy and Ned welcomes to the world their second child, Finn, and Christy becomes the ambassador for the launch of the RED campaign. After her work with CARE and the RED campaign, in 2009, Turlington enrolled in a master's program at Columbia's University Mailman School of Public Health. In 2010, Christy sets up her own charity, Every Mother Counts, a nonprofit aimed at helping to stop preventable death during pregnancy worldwide.
I'm Christy Turlington Burns. Every Mother Counts is an advocacy campaign which is focused on preventable deaths that are related to pregnancy and childbirth. Looking at women's rights in the countries where we work and where I've traveled, particularly in a place like Bangladesh. One of the greatest advances in the last 20 years has been that more girls and women have access to education and financial opportunity to earn for themselves, to earn more for their families. They march to the factory in the morning, those who work in the garment industry, and you see them. You see this beautiful color through the streets. This is something we should celebrate. But then when you see the flip side of that, they're not receiving health care. They're in cramped spaces that are poorly built. And we've seen with Rana Plaza, we've seen it numerous times in Bangladesh and other places in the world where, fires break out. Hundreds and thousands of people are dying because of unsafe conditions. And, that's the part that's like, no, we have to do better. One preventable death is a death too many. So when you think about hundreds and thousands of lives, it's just one of the most just unacceptable, horrific things that we can stand by and let happen.
Also, she makes her directorial debut with No Woman, No Cry, a documentary about maternal mortality worldwide. Since 2011, she has completed 8 full marathons, 12 half marathons, and 1 24-hour relay race to raise funds and awareness about maternal mortality. Turlington was named one of Glamour magazine Women of the Year in 2013, and in 2014 she was included on the annual Time 100 Most Influential People in the World. Also in 2014, the supermodel reprises her role as the face of Calvin Klein's new fragrance, and this time with a super special appearance from her hubby, Mr. Ed Burns. And in 2019, Miss Turlington Burns makes a surprise return to the runway to close the Marc Jacobs show at New York Fashion Week. Christy Turlington is one of the most beautiful women in the world, with an amazing modeling career which spans 3 decades. However, her inner beauty is what moved the maternal mortality conversation to the center of the global agenda. To date, Every Mother Counts has provided millions of dollars in grants, helping mothers in 8 countries, including Guatemala, Bangladesh, Haiti, and the US. Thank you, Christy, and to the team of Every Mother Counts. And thank you for spending these few minutes with me getting to know more about our Latinx heroes. In our next episode, we'll be highlighting a hero from our future, so make sure to watch and subscribe to my channel. I want to leave you with a quote Christy Turlington says, and I quote, "If we truly value humanity, life, and all that it represents in its highest form, then we need to do all that we can to promote quality of life over the quantity of life." End quote. Until next time, my heroes, stay curious, be gorgeous y amable. Gracias.
Just feel the love, oh yeah. Go ahead now, alright. Just feel the love, ooh. Don't stop, don't ever stop. Just because. Just feel the love.